Hi everyone, so I'm Tiffany and here I am recording the first video for my English only channel. On this YouTube channel I plan to record all my YouTube videos in English. In case you didn't know, I actually am an experienced YouTuber who record all my videos, who used to record all my videos, I still do, in Chinese, in Cantonese, which is my mother tongue, which is my native language. But I decided that I should try starting an English channel, because if I'm not someone who is able to convince my students that I'm brave enough and that I have the guts to speak in the public space that is the internet in English, who am I to teach them to speak English, right? So as an English teacher, I feel that it's my duty and it's my passion to share my knowledge with you all on a new channel, in which I'm going to record wholly in English. So today in this video, what I'd like to talk to you about, yes, a bit about the editing style of this video, of the videos that I'm going to put up here on this channel. The editing is going to be really simple because simply because of the reason that there aren't really enough manpower in my team right now that could help edit these videos for me. So these videos are going to be edited by myself. So the editing is going to be really simple because I'm simply not a quick editor. I'm not techie, if you know me at all. So the editing is going to be really simple. So don't expect any fancy editing at all. I'm going to try my best to update regularly. So on this channel, I'm going to talk about all things related to English learning. I'd also like to update you guys about my life, for example, about ethical spending, which I'm currently passionate about, and I'd like to also talk to you about online business as well. So I'm not sure how this channel will go. I'm not exactly sure about the future direction, but I'd still like to start it anyway, because one of my life's motto is to start before you're ready. So I'm a big fan of quick execution. On to the theme of this video. I'd like to talk to you about 3 things that you need to know, you need to master to learn English. Students of mine constantly ask me this question: Tiffany, what do you think I actually have to master? What are the essential aspects that I have to master to learn English well, to really pick up the language, to really start speaking, and to really be fluent? So my answer to that is always this. If you really want to speak English well, if you really want to acquire the true fluency, at least reasonable fluency, like I'm doing now, I think there are 3 essential things that you have to pay attention to. First of all, you need to be able to learn pronunciation. Pronunciation is an aspect that Hong Kong learners, Hong Kong is the city that I come from, in case you didn't know, that they always neglect. Pronunciation is an aspect that they always neglect because as Chinese speakers, we tend to feel that words are just like pictures, and you don't really have to remember the sounds of words, and especially when it is a second language, you are not really well versed in learning methodology or teaching methodology. You will feel that all you have to do is remember how a word looks and how a word is spelt and what the word looks like and what's the meaning of the word. But there's one thing that many learners have neglected. It is to remember, it is to know through and through how to pronounce a word. Because if you didn't know how to pronounce a word, you wouldn't know how to pronounce a phrase, let alone how to pronounce a sentence. You wouldn't be able to have the audio files in your mind which you can retrieve easily and which you can use easily anytime, really, essentially. Because as you know, when you're speaking, when you're talking with an English speaker, everything is spontaneous. You have to be on your own feet and be able to retrieve the phrases in a really quick space, in a really short space, in a really short period of time, that is to say. So pronunciation is really important, whether it be the pronunciation of words, pronunciation of phrases, pronunciation of sentences. That's the first thing that you have to understand. You have to master pronunciation in order to be good at English. That is not to say that you can't have an accent of your own. You can't have the Hong Kong accent. You can't speak Honglish. I'm not saying That's true. You can have an accent. Everyone has an accent, even Brits, even British speakers, even American speakers, they do have an accent. Even I myself do have an accent. But you really do have to be able to master pronunciation. It's just like singing. I think learning English is like learning to sing, and you have to remember how a sentence sounds and to retrieve the audio files in a short period of time, to be able to master language. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I think you have to learn at least reasonably well, to master at least reasonably well, is grammar. If you didn't even know the parts of speech, the categorization of words, a fancy term for the categorization of words, you wouldn't be able to replace certain words in a sentence to form another sentence of your own. For example, if you happen to learn the sentence, how are you? You wouldn't be able to say, how is he? How is she? How are they? You wouldn't be able to form these sentences. Essentially, to be able to really master sentence structures and vocabulary and to put them together and form a proper, grammatically correct sentence, a sentence which people understand, which is intelligible, you have to be able to learn some grammar. So that's the second thing that you have to learn to master English. The third thing that you have to learn to master English is exposure. I don't think that learning English is a one-off thing or one-off action. In other words, you have to build the habit of learning English constantly, to get exposed to English, to be in constant contact with the language, to immerse yourself in it, so that everything in life you do, it's related to English, and you get to speak some English or see some English or to read some English, just to be immersed in the language. So for example, I think one good way to do this would be to, for example, watch Netflix, drama series, and to watch movies, and to set the language of your phone system so that it's run in English. So you have to be able to immerse yourself in English, so much so you have to do this in such a big quantity, so intensively and so extensively, that you are able to think in English. It has taken me a long time to develop this habit of thinking in English. I used to read every day in English, read articles, read all sorts of things, commentaries, fictions, non-fictions, self-development books, all sorts of things in English, and I immerse myself in the English environment every day. I create the environment for myself so that I am able to think in English. I am not translating at all in my head now when I'm recording this video, and it is only because, not because I've studied the grammar rules, not because I've studied the pronunciation rules, but because I have exposed myself to English so much that I'm able to think in English now. Those are the three things that I think you have to master to be able to speak English well and to write in English, to become a true master of the language. Here it is, a simple video about 3 things that you really have to master if you want to learn English well. This is a simple video, and I figured the best way to start a YouTube channel is probably to talk about something that you are most familiar with and you're most comfortable with, and in my case it is English. So I hope this video has helped you a little bit. If it has, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and share this video to your friends, with your friends, if you know what I mean, and follow me on Instagram and Medium and Facebook and everything like that. Okay, see you soon, see you around, bye!